Welcome back to A&M the AM, episode 54. I'm back here with Mort. How you doing today, or tonight, or this morning, or
it's
we're
whatever.
gonna get there.
Yeah,
We're gonna get there.
we're getting actually close to recording this on upload day, like we used to do back in the old days with the whole group videos. But we haven't done that on
3
an
a.m.
A&M before.
3 in the 3 a.m. territory, but we won't get that bad. Hopefully, if we get if it gets there, we're
Kind
gonna
of
have a
down for it.
problem.
I'm kind of down for it actually.
But how have you been? It's been you. I heard you were day to day today. From
Yeah,
your back. Did you get your roller out and
yeah. It didn't. It helped for a little bit, but not as much anymore. Kind of just been sitting here, and it's been an issue just sitting here. So
once you lay down, I think it'll probably help a little bit.
I don't know. I thought so too
Oh,
last night, but then I woke up and it still hurt. So.
well, we'll keep you day to day. Uh, got week 2 of football coming up, but we may touch on that at the end, but we'll touch on that in Friday's video definitely, because we can talk about the matchup breakdowns. But first and foremost, Suns sweep. Then they advance to Western Conference Finals against team yet to be named. Let's just go. Let's just go to there. We didn't get a chance to talk about the game on Monday because we didn't do a video. But how do you feel? Your Suns sweep.
It was great to see. I happy that hopefully they've had some bodyguards around Devin Booker so the Serbians don't come after him. But other than that,
Kind of a dirty play in my eyes, but
not. I mean, well, yeah, it was, but
it was a little dirty.
It was dirty on Jokic's chest. But
I don't know about that much.
Wait, dirty on who then?
And that whole game 4 was all dirty. The Suns were playing a little bit dirty there.
What? They were getting the ball and then banging a 3. I don't know what's dirty about it.
Suns were playing a little dirty there, but continue.
Okay. But that gives them rest now. If any fatigue was setting in from them playing the back-to-back series, kind of gets to go away now. Just hopefully it's not too long of a rest.
Just they'll get about a week.
Series to finish.
I think.
And that should mean that whoever wins this series, if it goes 7, then they should not have much rest at all before they start with the Suns.
I mean, if it goes 7, they'll have over a week of rest though.
Yeah, and I mean that and probably sounds fun, but I feel like that could probably throw you off a little bit.
It will,
especially when they were riding the streak of winning. Was it 6?
7 straight.
6 or 7 straight. And then just to go sit there is kind of a little different, but
a lot different. Well, I mean, Book can go crazy now with Kendall and
and I mean I trust in Chris Paul's been in there, kind of not in the conference finals, but Monty Williams has also been there, so I trust that they
not in the conference finals.
Know how to set it up. I'm sure. Well, not as a head coach, but I'm sure because he was with the Spurs, so I'm sure that he's seen it there.
And he was there with the Thunder. No, he might have been with the Pelicans when they made it.
Yeah, it was when Chris Paul was younger.
Yeah, but yeah, they make it there. So actually one person I'm worried about is Ayton. Michael a little crazy during this week off.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's realistically he's earned it though. He just guarded.
Man needs to move into Booker's house so he's in the same neighborhood as him, Paul, and the owner. Just so there's no problem.
And Crowder.
So there's no problem.
Man deserves to go crazy a little bit though. Like he just went off for 2 straight series. He guarded Anthony Davis and Jokic in back-to-back series. Like I think he deserves at least a day to himself.
Maybe you're right.
As long as it doesn't set him back, and slow him back down.
All right, so now we move over to their opponent in the conference finals. Clippers or Jazz? Who do you got, or who do you want? I know you've said this in your TikTok videos, but who do you want?
I want the Jazz. For a few different reasons. Obviously, one, just I don't want the Clippers to go. I just don't want to hear about the Clippers and making the conference finals and everything. And I don't want them to have a chance to even go to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the Suns match up with both teams pretty well, or it's probably
Yep.
favorable in the Suns' way, probably in both of them. But they beat the Jazz in their season series, and they were the 1 and 2 teams, so that would be a tight series. And if the Jazz don't have Connolly, then that favors the Suns even more. But
I mean, you still got Clarkson though, and
well,
Clarkson's been
yeah,
playing
but
pretty good this year.
he's been kind of up and
I
down in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
is Ingles and like Bogdan, but supposed to say, oh, I could live with if the Jazz win that series. I could live with this Jazz being the ones that beat the Suns if they did lose to them.
Yeah.
Like I would be
That's
so
what
upset that if the Suns lost and it was to the Clippers. Like
that's where I see. I'm at the point. I just want the Jazz. Kind of want the Jazz to make it. Because I'm on it. I want the Suns obviously to win it, but I'm at the point where like I kind of want the Jazz to win it, just as a big middle finger to the league. Like, who wants the Jazz to win the NBA Finals? Nobody.
it's just I don't know if I trust the Jazz against the Nets.
Yeah,
Is the thing,
that's
but
yeah. That's just. I mean,
you'd think
we'll
it
we'll
might
get to the
help them a
Eastern
little
Conference
bit.
next week.
Yeah, you'd think it might help them a little bit. I don't want to put the Jazz there, but I'm just saying like they have Gobert for Blake and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
I don't want to have to worry about that because I don't want the Jazz or the Nets to actually make it. So
Yeah. And then the Clippers would be an interesting matchup though, because that's CP3's former team. So
hmm
yeah, I think that would be an interesting matchup, even
you
though there's
got
like no former players, but
you
man,
got
coaches,
Kawhi you got Kawhi against the younger and better Kawhi, in
yeah,
Michael Bridges, and so I think them kind of going on each other. Well, I mean Kawhi would obviously go with Booker, but then having Paul George, you can probably put. I don't want to joke and have him torch them if they make it, but you could probably put um, Tyshawn Alexander on Paul George and be comfortable with it. Their rookie that doesn't play. I'm just saying because it's playoff P.
what?
Playoff
Never,
P.
never, never utter Tyshawn Alexander's name again. Like,
You don't
what
have to worry
even?
about it. That's all I was trying to get to. But like I
He's
said,
not even on the active roster.
I don't want to have to worry about. I don't want to have to say that and have Paul George go crazy though. So
Still kind of weird that they're not playing DeMarcus Cousins. That's still odd to me why they aren't playing him. But
kind of makes sense though. He's not gonna do
yeah.
much out there.
All right, so then let's move to the Eastern Conference in the game that just happened. The Nets versus Bucks. Nets they're going to game 6. Nets are up. KD is going insane. He had 46, 16, and 10, the first player in NBA playoff history to do that. I don't know, man. James Harden played 46 minutes after coming off of an injury. um, again, I don't couldn't tell you where Kyrie is.
I think it was like
I
his ankle or something from last game.
either that or I know he just had a kid too, so I don't.
He did.
I
What the heck?
or he's about to. I seen that somewhere. That could be a very old report, but I swear I
I
seen
didn't see
Kyrie had
that,
a
but
kid.
maybe. Um,
Um,
I I'm getting tired of the Jazz and the Bucks. Like, just close out your dang series. The Bucks get worse and worse by the day. It seems like so do the
yeah,
Jazz, realistically. But I wanted to see them both win their series and to see that they just keep getting beat and not doing anything isn't good. Giannis is an empty stat patter. I'll say that right here. I've already said it on Twitter. Giannis doesn't contribute to a team's win, and he can't lead a team. I don't want to hear anything
yeah.
about him being a top 3 player in the league anymore.
Hot take,
I don't want to hear
and
anything
I
about
mean
it.
that's a very hot take, and
Him,
I'm not gonna agree or disagree with you here, but I'm not gonna agree with you, but I'm not gonna fully disagree.
Giannis and Westbrook are the exact same thing. They empty stat pad. It doesn't contribute to a team win, and
I
doesn't
don't agree with you
doesn't
on that one.
doesn't get a team very far in the playoffs.
I mean, because
They can't be the star of their team.
Westbrook kind of did help carry that Wizards team a little bit this year
Well, sure, but
to a playoff berth.
in the East,
So I mean, that East was getting kind of chippy there. The Final Four making it in was kind of chippy.
you're supposed to be as good as people think. You have to make it in the East. Like you can't play in
Yeah,
the East and like be considered a superstar and then not do anything.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, we'll come back to that when this series is up.
Just have to
They
let it
play
know.
Game 6 on Thursday, but Game 5 today when this goes up. Hawks versus Sixers. Who do you got?
I want the Hawks to win.
I want the Hawks to win.
I want the
I
Hawks
mean,
to win
I
that
think
series, but I know that the Sixers probably
they're gonna
match
pull
up
it out.
better against the Nets. So
I mean, they do have 3 guys that made it on All NBA teams, All NBA defensive teams,
all
which
NBA
is
slobber
insane.
team. First off,
How?
because that it's just for them to put 3 guys on there. Not even like biasly saying Bridges should have been there, but like to
On a
put
defensive team
yeah to
for first or second.
probably second if
I
not
mean,
third. Should have been on
there
some
isn't a
kind of team like
there
that.
isn't a third
Oh,
defensive team. There's
okay.
only one and two.
But either way, he should have been on one of them. Uh,
I but personally, I'm just gonna here look at this real fast. Me and you haven't talked about this, but
I think he's a better
uh,
player, and I mean, obviously he's a better overall player. But I think he's a better defender than Matisse Thybulle is, and I'm a big Matisse fan.
I don't agree. He doesn't put up. I mean, yeah, he can defend good, but guys like when Matisse is out there, he's one of the top defenders on the court, and you're putting him on the other team's best guy, and he guards that best guy consistently well.
Yeah, because their other 2 good defenders are big guys, so it's kind of hard. And usually, the best player on the floor is a guard, so that's why Matisse would guard them.
I think Matisse deserved to be there. I'm trying to find the all defensive teams here, but I can't find it.
Yeah, they were spamming today, so it's probably gonna be hard. They're having a
Exchange.
heyday on the timeline.
Well, it was a couple of days ago when it got released, right? Oop, oop,
I think it was yesterday.
right here. Okay, first team: Rudy Gobert, Ben Simmons, Draymond, Giannis, and Drew Holiday. I think except Draymond, obviously. I think
So
most of those guys deserve to be
it's a
there.
little weird, but I guess
Yeah,
it's whatever.
and then we got Bam Adebayo for second team, Jimmy Butler. You know, I, I don't understand him making, the third team All NBA and second team here. He played like half the games this season.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I disagree about him being on these teams. And then Joel Embiid, I mean, obviously, and then like we said, Matisse Thybulle and Kawhi, which those I think everybody's understandable. I think if Mikal was going to replace somebody, it would have been Jimmy.
It's a little
Matisse
awkward
deserved to be
though.
there. Matisse deserved to.
Like they had to do it where every team, if they had one, they had to have their sidekick on there. So the Sixers got their 3: Giannis and Holiday, Jimmy
Okay.
and Bam. Like they all got to put their sidekicks on there. It's getting to that point at this
Kawhi and
in this year's
Draymond
NBA.
were Kawhi and Draymond
Well,
weren't.
Draymond was the only person playing defense on the Warriors. So that makes sense. And then like
Same thing with
just
Kawhi
about
too.
same thing with Kawhi. Besides Pat Bev breathing down somebody's throat, I don't even consider that defense. He's just kind of slobbering on them at that point. But
And I'm just reading this here real fast. Bridges dash CP3 robbed. This is the first time I'm seeing this. You believe CP3 deserved to be on a defensive team, or were you just saying it to say it?
yeah, I was mostly saying it, but I think he averaged like I could be wrong, like 2 to 3 steals a game.
No, it was around I think 1.5.
There was a point in which he had 3 steals a game for like 2 weeks straight.
I had him on my fantasy team, and
I
yes,
was gonna say, yeah, you
there's
always talked about it.
there was a week where he did like 3 or 4 games in a row. He had like 3 steals, but that wasn't contributing to early on in the season where he wasn't getting too many steals a game. I'm
Either
pulling
way,
it
I
up
think
here.
I think Bridges was the more deserving, obviously, but guard wise, I think Chris Paul had a chance. But
Chris
at least he
Paul
made the All
had
NBA team.
Chris Paul had 1.4 steals a game this year.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say early on in the season he wasn't doing what he was in the second half of the season, defensive wise or steal wise and stuff like
He
that.
was easing into it.
So, but I mean, I think other than the Jimmy thing there, I think those teams are not that bad. Matisse, I 100% agree. I said Matisse like uh near the end of the season. I said he was making all defensive team. I just he's a premier defender in this league already, and
I
which everyone knew he was going to be.
I don't know if this channel is gonna be around this time next year,
Okay.
but I'm gonna put out a take that we're gonna come back on.
Can I say something real fast though? Because I just looked up Matisse because I wanted to look at his stats.
Oh
He's
yeah,
from Scottsdale, Arizona.
yeah.
I did not
His
know that.
his post bubble vlogs last year is back at Arizona, and he was at the Grand Canyon with his sister and stuff. They're quality vlogs,
Okay.
and he had convertibles and stuff down there with his dad. But
So
so
hot take here real fast then.
if the channel's still around this time
If
next
not,
year,
you still have this to go back to, you know?
yeah. Just hopefully if anybody remembers besides me, I might forget too. But I think that next year, the All NBA teams,
Defensive teams?
I think in
Or,
general, I'll
okay.
I'll say which ones. I think Devin Booker makes the first team,
Okay.
and I think that Bridges and Ayton make a defensive team. I think I don't know if I'll say Bridges first team. I think Bridges and Ayton might make a second team.
All right. I'll go off with those 3 players. I mean, you're making. I'll kind of bounce my feelings off of that.
I'm only saying that because like I said, Bridges got robbed, but Ayton's
Yeah.
gonna make it there.
Bridges
Ayton's
should
getting better and better by the day.
Bridges should have made the third team. If he was going to make any team, he should have made third team All NBA. I think he makes second team All NBA unless he literally has an insane season. I think he makes second team All NBA. And then I think Mikal does make one of the 2 all defensive teams. I don't think Ayton makes it though. I think there's better defending centers in the league right now. And again, it goes for the same as Booker. Unless he has an insane season where he's averaging like just look at it right here. Miles Turner, insane season, leading the NBA in blocks. Didn't get a chance on the All NBA team.
Well, probably because he was hurt a lot too. But I was gonna say, like, I personally think another hot take, another homer take. I personally think Ayton competes with Bam, if not better, as a defender. Which I know why Bam
But
made that.
Bam's counted as a power forward. That's why he made it.
Yeah,
Ayton's not.
that and also reason because AD was hurt, so AD would have normally had that defensive first or second, whatever. So that's also why. But that's why it's going to be even harder for Ayton having AD back next year.
Yeah, I don't think I think AD's a couple. You say a year out. You say he's there, but I think he's a couple years out from maybe being in that. I think he's in the conversation next year, maybe, but from actually being considered for it, like people going in comments saying, "Yeah, this is wrong." I think he's maybe 2 to 3 years out.
Yeah, probably 2 for like people to do that. I think he should get looks at it. I mean, just even seeing what he's done against the MVP and against AD, kind of just it's kind of like been this. You said how Chris Paul wasn't doing much in the first half. It's kind of like the second half was where Ayton kind of took off defensively.
Yeah. Since we're making hot takes here, I'm gonna make a hot take for the All NBA teams real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Trae Young makes All NBA second team next year.
Oh,
Not hot take, more of a conscientious, like everyone's kind of
Because who were the
is going with
guards?
that. For all three of the teams.
Yeah. It's
First
obviously
team was
Steph
Curry.
and Lillard.
No, first team was Curry and Luca.
Okay.
Second team was Chris Paul and Damian Lillard, and third team was Kyrie Irving and Bradley Beal.
Oh yeah. Probably over Kyrie and depending on Beal's situation, maybe even over Beal's.
And it also depends on. Again, I'm not trying to bash on, but it also depends on how well Chris Paul does
Yeah, I would say,
next year.
he could really take off and take Chris Paul's spot, but
Yeah,
it's still gonna be. I think it's still gonna be Steph and Luka unless something happens to Steph.
and
If
it's
not, then it's a Lillard. If it's Lillard's on his
what they
own
count.
team,
It's what they count Luca as
yeah.
too. I thought they personally should have counted him as a small forward this year and put Dame on the first team and Kawhi on the second team.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be next year. It'll probably be Steph and Luka again. Like I said, unless Steph doesn't do as much having a better team around him, or Lillard does more having not having a team around him.
And again, everyone seems to forget this man, but who knows what Clay comes back and does.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Well, he's not gonna. Okay, I don't want to say no way because we saw what
Who
KD
knows?
did this year,
Yeah,
but
who knows?
KD was also a
KD didn't
top.
even make a team.
Yeah,
So.
which is weird, but KD was also a top. Well, probably is a top 5 scorer of all time.
Yeah.
So coming back from surgery, it kind of makes sense that he was.
But
I mean, he did miss a lot of time, which is probably why too. But he kind of eased into it, and Clay wasn't the number one guy anyway. Like even on that team, KD's still the best player on that team.
that's what I'm saying. But think about it. Clay doesn't have to be the number one. He can just go back to doing what he does best.
Yeah, which is why I don't think
shooting the ball.
I don't think he makes a team like that.
No,
I mean, he might have done that before, but really, all the guards have caught up to him. And if he's just gonna be a spot up shooter for a second, because man tore 2 things in his legs, or knees. So
yeah, I mean that's why I think keeping Wiggins there is gonna be this is a bold statement, but it will kind of take some pressure off of Clay. I think with some defensive help on the perimeter there. I mean, I know Wiggins isn't a premier NBA defender, but he's near kind of Clay's level or where Clay was around, I think.
4 out of their starting 5 can play defense next year.
Yeah.
Outside of Steph, and Steph's kind of like a little bit better now, but
depending on who their starting 5 is going to be, because it's still weird because they could get a top 5 or top 3 pick.
Yeah, but I don't think either. No matter who they get, they would start. Because it would probably just be Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Donkey, and
Wiseman unless they trade him.
So yeah, if they keep him, then he can. All 4 out of the 5 play good defense. So
say what you want, Wiseman for Gobert, break the NBA.
Makes no sense to do that for either team, but
I don't think they would ever do that because it's Western Conference, but
it just makes absolutely no sense in general. Then you got 2 guys that can't shoot and a possible third in Wiggins.
No, that's when Draymond doesn't start anymore. You ship him off to make contracts work.
I don't know.
So you're shipping. We're not bringing out Whiteboard Wednesday.
I know, but the dude acts like he's the face of the franchise now. So I don't know if they can do that.
Okay. Well, yeah. Other than that, I mean, let's just before we move on to MLB. This was the first team, and I mean, or first, second, and third All NBA teams. We got Jokic, Giannis, Curry, Doncic, Leonard. Basically, consensus. Everyone knew that was going to be it. And then you got second team: Chris Paul, Lillard, Joel Embiid, Julius Randle, and LeBron James. Again, basically everybody knew that.
I'm actually kind of surprised that LeBron made that though. Again, with missing a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm surprised that KD didn't make a team over LeBron, or like James Harden didn't make a team over LeBron when I think they ended up playing more games than LeBron in the end of it all. And I think a lot of people were surprised by Julius Randle being second team.
Well, he wasn't going to be first team. He definitely deserved to make a team. No. He definitely deserved to make one.
I'm saying third team. I'm saying a lot of people are surprised he made that jump to second team.
But it's probably because he didn't have a lot of guys to compete with at that point.
Yeah, and because when you look at third team, there isn't even a real power forward that made third team. Third team: Kyrie Irving, Bradley Beal, Rudy Gobert, Jimmy Butler, and Paul George.
Yeah,
So
so he's good on 2.
yeah. But yeah, those were the 3 teams. Only one I really disagree with is probably third team. I don't think Jimmy again should have been there. Like I said,
No.
I don't know what he really even did to prove him
That's where I
his
could have
worth.
given Trey it this year.
But
If they were
Jimmy
gonna
made it
have
as
the
a Jimmy made it as a forward.
Yeah, but
And
I
but
get
that
that's
and then
why,
I
but
mean
it's still
that's where it could have been adjusted. Then LeBron then because I would have had Lillard moving to first team, Kawhi moving down to second team, LeBron to no, it still wouldn't have worked. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore my logic there. Ignore. No. Yeah, Lillard, and then yeah, and then it would have been Trey on second team. I think right there. I would have had Trey on second
he
team
went
right
from
away.
nothing to second team now.
Yeah, and then
What a
I
come
would have
up.
had LeBron on third team. I think. Yeah, yeah. All right. Just ignore my logic there though. But yeah, let's move to the MLB because
Mm-hmm.
the Tigers probably had their biggest their most transaction moves in the last probably would say 5 years in the last 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have to pull up the exact list because I don't have it here with
Well,
me
there's more
today.
than just that list,
Yeah,
also.
I know there's more than just that, but those were the main ones that at least happened that made the impact today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna have it. I already know. I just gotta look up Detroit.
I was gonna say
Detroit
no, just go to the Tigers
PR.
PR. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So let's start 3 days ago. Candelario was reinstated from the from whatever his list that he was on.
The bereavement.
Bereavement, yeah. Um and then later that night, after Bo Burrows puked on the mound, he was sent down to AAA. The corresponding move would be happening the next day. And then the Tigers selected Buck Farmer to come up for him. I believe that was the move that was made. And then
I'm not
after
sure.
Sunday's game, which we had heard rumblings that there was going to be a big announcement after Sunday's game. And I mean, everyone either knew it was one of two things. Torkelson and Dingler were getting, or Torkelson or Dingler or something of that combination were getting moved up to AA or AAA, or that Manning was getting moved up to the big leagues. Ended up being Torkelson and Dingler to AA. And they started their first game tonight, and I think Dingler had a hit. I don't know about
Yeah,
Torkelson
as
though.
Dingler got a hit, I was watching a little bit of it.
Mm.
I don't think Torkelson got one. I could be wrong, but I didn't see anything about it. So
And then prior to their first game yesterday in Kansas City, Paredes was moved down to AAA, and Michael Former was reinstated off the IL.
as if nobody
And
saw that coming.
great timing, great timing after I bought the Fulmer jersey. Just hoping for him not to get traded at this point. I almost wore it. I forgot it downstairs, but I
Of
almost wore it tonight.
course.
And then during yesterday's game, Matthew Boyd left with discomfort in his arm, and so did Alex Lange. So there's 2 more pitchers along with Spencer Turnbull, and I don't even know what other pitcher's down right now. I think that's all. I think it's just those 3 right now, honestly.
Yeah, I think there might be somebody else, but
And then the Tigers, then last night optioned Jason Foley down to AAA, saying they were making a move today.
mm-hmm.
And then 6 hours ago, the Tigers dropped this where 8 moves along the entire uh, farm system were made.
Love to see it.
Matt Boyd placed on 10-day IL. Alex Lange, 10-day IL. Candelario removed from injured list, which we already knew. Yeah, it says injured list on here, but we already knew. Miguel de Pazzo.
Sure.
He was selected from AAA. His contract was bought. Willie Peralta, contract was bought from
He
AAA.
pitched tonight and looks pretty good, actually.
He did. It was 1 1/3. I think he got 2 strikeouts, something like that. But yeah, I did see. I was watching. There was a highlight that I saw. Ronnie Garcia 60-day IL. So there's another picture.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
he
then
was
here's
the
the
one.
big one. Here's the big one, and I feel for this man. Bo Burrows has had the worst 5 day stretch out of probably anybody. He
That's
was
real bad.
designated for assignment. And then also along with Wilson Ramos, which probably most people didn't expect.
Didn't,
Probably
but
expected more of a trade.
it was a
And then,
rare like good move though that they didn't
yeah,
have to send either Haas or Rogers back down, and he was just kind of sitting there collecting dust as it was. They talked about during the game that the surprising part about it was that um he was getting 2 to 3 million, and they just
yeah.
kind of ate it by designating him for assignment.
Which I mean, it's not like they are at a money score. They're not
Well,
scraping
but
for money.
they never want to do anything like that because of the money. They don't want to just keep it, or I mean,
Yeah.
like just pay it all out.
I'm very surprised they didn't try to trade him. And maybe they did. Maybe they did, and no one was really in the market for him because he has an injury problem this year. And
We'll
what
see how
is he?
long or how fast he gets picked up.
Yeah, and what is he? A hitting catcher? That's all he can do
That
for
can't
you. A
hit this
DH?
year.
What?
That can't hit this year.
I mean, he was leading us in home runs while for a good month while he was
A little
injured.
bit, yeah, and then
So,
everybody caught up.
um, and then the last move that basically after all of that, last night even everybody knew this move was happening. After Boyd got hurt, after Lange got hurt, Matt Manning, and he got pulled from his game last night. Matt Manning was brought up to the big leagues. So now we got 3 days of Mize was tonight or last night, Scooble today, and Matt Manning tomorrow versus Shohei Ohtani on YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the big three.
And I know
The
Bally Sports Detroit is very upset because they can't hype it up anymore. They'll be able to hype it up tonight, and then they won't be able to do like a pregame and stuff because it's only on YouTube.
wait,
So
it's not even on Valley.
they're losing their promotion. Usually it isn't. Like when they showed the upcoming schedule, they showed like the games on Bally, and then they had a blank spot for the Angels one, and then another blank spot for the last game of the Angels series is on a Fox game of the week. So they're definitely not on it for that. I
We
don't know
get
how
the
they.
Fox game.
I don't know how the Tigers and Angels got Fox game of the week and nobody relevant is pitching, but
There's no way we got Fox game of the week.
that's what the rumors are. It was blank. People said that it's the Fox one because it's a Saturday, but
Hold on, I'm looking here real fast. Um, no, it's on Bally. Well, at least it's saying that. Yeah, it says it's on Bally. I'm looking at the MLB.
I don't know if I have a picture of it still or not.
Yep. Yeah, so Matt Manning's debut is only on YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it. That's crazy. That Valley can't even.
I know
Yeah,
they're punching the air big time.
so at least we don't have to listen to
Yeah,
Sharp and
but the commentary on that is never that great either.
yeah, I was gonna say
And
it's
there are a bunch
probably
of
at least
casuals on there, so
I'd say at least Jack Morris and Sharp know somewhat of what they're talking about. And then switching over to YouTube, they're gonna have no idea who any of the players on the Tigers
yeah, the
are.
cringy part is they don't keep up with a lot of it. And then it's run by the MLB YouTube community, so it's Shelfie and Fuzzy and guys being awkward in the chat and like Draft Neck Mark and those other weirdos all
So
talking in the
they're
chat
so
like they know exactly what's going on. And the thing is, it's gonna be
probably
Otani pitching, so it's all gonna be
yeah
about Otani in the chat. So yeah,
yeah.
Saturday, the Angels game is also not on. That's the Fox game. It's at 10 o'clock also. They give him the Fox game of the week at 10. So I'm assuming there's got to be another game before them, but
Yeah, the
um,
FS1. Huh. That's interesting though. But I mean, how do you feel like this is a good like obviously Torkelson and Dingler? I mean everyone hoped, but I think this is a lot faster than everyone thought they were going to be moving up. I think everyone thought they were just going to be down there in the dungeon for a while.
didn't have anything else to show there. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's better to have at least Torkelson. Better to have him with Riley Green to keep them
Yeah.
together all the way through the system. That's what their plan was anyway. So everybody knew it was kind of going to be quick, no matter if Torkelson did good or not. It just happened to be that he was doing very good, so it made it even easier. But they want him and Riley to be together at all times, basically. So it made sense to
Yeah.
do it.
And I know me and you were talking about it when we saw the 2 DFAs that obviously cleared up 2 40-man roster spots, and you said it's probably going to be Torkelson and Green, so they can save them from the Rule 5 draft.
And I think they were also talking about though that I think Willie Peralta might have had one or something like that, where he had to be
No, yeah,
added.
I
He
think
had to
it
be
was.
added, and I think Manning had to be. I think Manning had to technically be added too because he was on the taxi
No, Manning
squad.
was already on it.
Well, he had to be moved to the taxi squad to put him into the active roster, and it's something weird like that where that's how he got onto it. So I think he got one, and I think Willie Peralta got the other.
But they also probably had to get
Unless
Miguel
Del
de
Pazzo.
yeah,
one
Del
also,
Pazzo. They probably had to get him too on there. So
it's something like that. Yeah, they had to do it like that, and that's why originally they said Manning to the taxi squad. They're like, oh wait, he's gonna move from the taxi squad to the active roster.
just looking here real fast. Yeah, Willie Peralta's on 40-man now.
Yeah, they have to be
And
in major leagues.
yeah,
All
yeah.
three are.
Yeah, so yeah, all 3 of them are now. But no, Manning he had already been on the 40-man. I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah, he was, but that's why they technically had to move him to the taxi squad to activate it to get his service time. But
yeah, but good things looking up for the Tigers, I guess. I think next pitcher to come up, Joey Wentz. Finally get to see what he's made of.
I'm tired of this. Tired of just every single person, not even you, just every single person. Dude just had Tommy John not even a year ago.
Don't hate on my man. Hey, we got who? Let me see here. Real fast.
Like they have, I said it today to you, but they have no other pitching left in their system. I know some nerd out there that won't watch this, but there's gonna be nerds out there like, no, they have this guy and this guy and this guy. I really like this one. His spin rate is through the roof. So,
but you're right. They really don't. And
the
I guess
past 5 years, all we've heard is Manning, Scooble, Mize, and now they're all
Yeah.
there. So there's nothing else left. It makes Mudhens games absolutely no reason to go to them now.
Horrendous. Yeah, you're right. All we're gonna get.
They had no pitching as it was, and now Manny's gone. Willie Peralta's gone. I don't know if Del Pazzo was doing good on there or not, but he's gone also. So
I mean, we're gonna get Bo Burrows down there if he clears waivers, which probably will.
and Erasmo Ramirez when he gets healthy. So
and then Ramos down there would be kind of lit.
Oh gosh,
if he clears waivers.
Yeah, him and Griner going crazy.
No,
if he clears, if Ramos clears waivers, he'll become a free agent.
You think he'll opt out of
he'll
that?
pick that.
Yeah. But I mean, last question is, I mean, we're not close to it, but we're about I would say maybe a little bit over a month out. Who do you think the prime people are getting traded right now?
I was actually gonna make a TikTok about this. So
okay.
Can we get a
little preview? Yeah, let's say, can we get a little preview here? Give me your top three. Your top three. I don't know how many guys you got, but
I'll give you the teams too.
Okay.
I like Scherzer going to the Cardinals.
Oh, I was saying mainly the Tigers.
Oh,
go crazy.
Well,
no,
nobody.
Go crazy.
Tigers aren't gonna get anybody or give.
No.
I
was saying.
So.
I know. I was saying they were trading away anybody.
Well, there's nobody now. Ramos was terrible, and there's nobody else now. Boyd maybe.
Scope. That's the thing. That a lot of people are saying scope. So.
Yeah. Besides,
okay. Go ahead with your.
Besides scope and a possible Matt Boyd, there's nothing else happening down there.
Okay.
Scherzer,
go crazy.
Scherzer to the Cardinals.
Okay. Which I have seen that a lot.
Yeah. Trevor Story to the Yankees.
That's kind of a given.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll throw in Scope there. I'll give him the third one.
Do you know where, or do you have an idea?
No, because it depends on who wants him for what position. Like
Yeah, who want
The White Sox would love to have him right now,
for first base
second
or
base,
second? Oh
because
yeah, you're right.
now Madrigal's confirmed out for the rest of the season, and now they have to play is Laurie Garcia and Danny Mendick. So
And Mendick usually is in the outfield, right? Or they need him for the
he like
outfield.
moves around. So yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
it's just they'd have to give up probably a bigger price than they would like because of being in the division. So I don't see that happening. I just don't know where exactly. It just depends on, like I said, what team needs what. If they need a first baseman or a second baseman.
which I think he's comfortable to play either.
Well, yeah.
No, he's played enough first. I think he's comfortable now enough to say I'll play either position. So
Mm-hmm.
um, it would obviously hurt to see him traded unless we get a decent prospect in return. And like you said, if it's the White Sox, we probably would get a little bit better one. I would assume it'd be a little bit bigger return. Um, so, but Scope is leading us in home runs right now with 11,
Scope's leading
and
in
he's also
everything. The they
actually
showed after the
Kimalayo.
game. Well, yeah, just almost everything. But they showed after the game that he's batting like 370 something, like the past 8 games,
Mhm.
with like 7 home runs and 13 RBIs or something like that. It's like really good numbers. Is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, here.
I think the
I'll
numbers
break
were
down
all
his
off,
season
but
stats. His season stats right now, he's hitting 265, which is second on the team, 11 home runs, first on the team, and then 32 RBIs, which is tied for first on the team, along with another guy that, you know, I thought could be traded, but I think they should wait till next year since it's a 2-year contract, Robbie Grossman. I think it would be good for him to stay on the team.
yeah,
And
I don't think he goes
in a
anymore.
way, I think next year would be the time for him to get traded because hopefully by then, that's when Riley Green rumors are going to
Yeah,
trickle in up that he may be coming up, you know?
that's what I think. I'm sure because now you have him. He's been working with Derek Hill until he got hurt. He's been
Which
working
sad.
with Daz Cameron now. He's you know
Which
helping
Daz has
Haas a
not been
little
looking
bit.
bad.
Helping Haas a little bit probably.
Yeah.
Um Another one could probably be Mazzara if he's traded. But I feel like if Wilson Ramos was designated first time, I feel like Mazzara will be also
Yeah,
when Derek
I was
Hill
gonna say if
comes
anything,
back.
if anything, it's Mazar that gets DFA'd. And I was going to say what's his face?
I also can't forget about Badu with the Grossman also.
Yes, Badu. Badu's kind of he he went stone cold there for a while, and now he's kind of just just
It's
being
not as
absent.
loud because everybody has already saw it happen, but they compared like the last month to April. It was identical stats, just less strikeouts, more walks. So
Yeah. I can't think of this um other outfielder right now. Christian Stewart. I was gonna say if they give him if no if they designate Daz and give Christian Stewart
I
one
mean
last try.
Mazzara.
Or yeah, not yeah, if they designate Mazzara and give Stewart, kind of like how I don't want to say this was Daz's last chance, but kind of give Christian like, here's your last
Well,
chance to kind of
Daz
prove.
definitely has a longer leash, being younger and better. But
Yeah.
I don't think Christian Stewart sees the light of day for the Tigers ever again, just because of
Well,
that, because of having Grossman, Badu, Daz, Hill, um, Grossman, and then Riley Green. So
but that's why I'm saying that's why I think they
I don't think
maybe
he
give.
does.
Oh, and there's Victor Reyes too.
Yeah,
Can't
but
forget
he's
about Victor.
like hurt now, and I don't know what's going on with him. But
Yeah, I don't. I keep forgetting we have him kind
I
of.
think that they'd rather just stick with the guys that they have now, and I feel like the fans would be more happy with that also.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to like Haas. The sucky thing is he's older. He's 28. Um,
Yeah,
but
but he
some
still
people
stays as a
have the
backup
best.
catcher till
Yeah.
Dingler's there. So
Mhm. I mean, Jake Rogers, catcher of the future. So I'm
well,
just
he was
saying, Jake.
supposed to be, but they just kept him in Toledo for 8 years, or not even Toledo, Double A.
Yeah.
Because I mean, because he couldn't hit, but Same time, it was better than their experiments that they've had the past few years. He should have been up, but
But
besides the point.
see,
I've been a Jake Rogers since day one. I I used to get yelled at in the old group chats for wanting him up because he was 25 and had not seen the light of day in the major leagues. But that's besides the point.
you know, see, say what you want. He's not that old. He's 26, and that's not that bad. He still has 4 years till he's 30, and then he can never have another like six. He can have a good 10 years in the league,
Yeah.
which isn't like Buster Posey's been in the league for 10 years. So I don't know. I'm not obviously comparing him to Buster Posey. I'm just saying like, think about it. Buster's been in the league for 10 years and see what he's done. I think Jake could have a good long career.
I've been wanting him to
or-
be the starter for the past few years. I didn't ever wanting them to get Ramos
yeah,
or any other kind of catcher. When they were talking about Jason
yeah,
Castro and all kinds of other people, I said Rogers should have been the starter from day one. But
yeah. I think having him, and then obviously when Dingler's ready, bring Dingler up as a rotational type guy with him, and then having Haas there as a catcher outfielder combo.
I don't know if Haas really
Sticks
stays
with
there
him.
very long. I just have this feeling that he's like a flash in the pan kind of guy, where he's only relevant because he's on the Tigers. Nowhere
Yeah,
else he'd really be playing very often, and he's only on the Tigers because he's from Detroit and he's just been good since he's been up. But
yeah.
I feel like just
Well, I mean,
if he wasn't on the team, he wouldn't be around, which is it's not a bad thing for him. It's just being like the Tigers took a chance on him because he's from here and stuff. So
yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's another thing. It's like if he does continue, good for him, and I'm sure he'll have a spot on the team. But it's the fact of the matter if he can continue the play he's at. I don't want to say he's a hothead, but I think he's kind of a hothead too. With some of his hot mics after he strikes out. So
I could see maybe
who knows?
if he could stick around. If he, I know he's made real good strides and he looks pretty good out in left field. But if he added first base and kind of like floated
Yeah,
away from left field, just because if you trade Scope, then it's him and Miguel. If not, then it's should be Ronaldo Nunez and Miguel. But
yeah.
everybody wants that other guy. I don't know why, just because he's doing good for once in his life. But it should be Ronaldo Nunez and Miguel, and that's where I would think like you won't really like that. But
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, I think him adding maybe first and third along with that left
I
field
want to say
spot, and
third.
then
I want to say third. I'd say
well,
first for
no,
sure.
I'm just saying third for the fact of like, okay, let's say Candelario
Because then he
goes
turns into a
third.
utility at that point.
But I'm not saying that'll longer his career. He's already 28.
Well, yeah, but
He knows he's not going to go anywhere and be a opening day starter. Why not kind of transition into a guy that can be a utility player and that can get 100 games a year as a spot starter everywhere.
yeah.
He's
I, I
28.
I think the real thing that will happen is Scope gets traded and Harold becomes first baseman for probably or
Days that might
Nico, one of the two.
yeah,
But
unless Nico gets traded,
Nico's
but
not getting traded.
or DFA'd
You couldn't pay somebody to trade for Nico.
or DFA'd. Do you think he ever gets DFA'd or Tigers love him too much now?
I think everybody
Weirdly.
that brought him in is gone, so I think they have no attachment to him whatsoever.
I mean,
He
Al's
was
still there.
yeah, but it was Gardenhire's doing and his coaching staff because he had him
Yeah,
in
'cause I
Minnesota.
think yeah, I was gonna say
So
because Minnesota,
I think
but
I think another reason why he's staying around is because of Badu. Him and Badu are good friends. Badu said he's known him since he was 16. They were in the twin system together. So
yeah. I mean, I don't think Padu's the only reason though. I mean, it's not like that 22-year-old keeping Nico there, but no, I get what you're saying, but yeah, it should be interesting what Tigers do within this next month. There could be a lot more changes. Guys could be off the team. Guys
there's
could
not
be in
realistically like looking at it. There's not much more they can do. All of their
as of
hyped up
this year.
yeah, all of their hyped up guys are now in the major leagues outside
Yeah,
of Paredes, and then their other like very hyped up guys are now together, and then it's not gonna be a factor for another year anyway. So
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could see that's changes is uh right before like September call-ups, Torkelson, Dingler, and Riley Green all get called up to AAA for like a couple weeks, and then like you said maybe that Torkelson and Green come up for September call-ups if they get added to the 40 man, you know.
I don't think they'll make it up there for it. Just depends on where they're at in their season, the Tigers, and just how those guys are doing. Because I think some weird thing about it cutting into their service time if they make it to September call ups. Like it's usually the September call ups are the guys that are be coming up the next year anyway.
Yeah.
So teams will do that for their service time. So I don't think the Tigers would do that
So you're saying that um
because they'll still know that those guys are a year away anyway. So it's no point.
so you're saying probably by maybe by the end of this year we would hopefully to God see Riley Green in AAA, and then
I'd hope so.
at the end of the year, and then maybe a Torkelson and maybe a Dingler sighting if they are doing good down in AA.
I think Riley Green gets the better chance. Just if
Yeah, that's what I'm
Torkels is
saying.
absolutely tearing it up, then yeah. But it's just got to remember that even with being younger, Green has more professional experience than Torkelson does. So.
Yeah, and then next year they're all three in AAA, unless Riley Green is obviously tearing it up even more. Then he becomes kind of like a I'm not comparing him to him, but like a Daz guy that comes up
If he
and
comes into spring training just
yeah,
jacked even more and just ripping the cover off the wall, then he makes it. Gives you like a
gives
thought
opening
about
day.
it, but
Kind of like I mean, Purdue situation, their hands tied kind of on it that he had to make the team, but
mm,
maybe like a Purdue situation if he's absolutely tearing it up in spring training like Purdue was, then who knows?
but I think
Um,
I think he's got to do like historically great because they know he's 19 or 20 or
yeah,
whatever now. And they know that Hill finally made it. Daz finally made it. Badu's young. So they're going to play with those guys a little bit because they did give Jacoby Jones and Victor Reyes a lot of time.
yeah.
They gave Stewart some time. So they know that they don't have to rush anybody. So,
Riley Green will be. I'm older than Riley Green.
yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
That really hurts to see that Riley Green, what
Mm hmm.
he's doing in my life, man's
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
that pains for me to look. I'm gonna have to set my phone down. He turns 21 on September 28th. So yeah, I
Yeah, that's
I think
why
this year,
he's gonna be a little while. I wanted him to be like a Bellinger and get called up at 21 and take the world by storm, but it's kind of caught up to Bellinger a little bit. But like I said, they're definitely not gonna think about it. They're gonna give Hill as much time as they can, and they're gonna
yeah,
give Daz as much time as they can for him, and then just Purdue is already getting the time as it is. So
understandable. I get it, but I mean, hopefully we see those guys sooner than later. I hope it isn't like a Manning, Manning, Scooble, and my situation where we have to wait 3 to 4 years to even have them see the light of day in
probably
MLB.
will. And now thinking about it, it puts me in a real tough situation because known public, probably hater number one would be me of Daz Cameron.
Yeah,
Just coming around on him a little bit. Still don't think that much about him. I just
hmm
think he's doing a little bit better than I had given him credit for. But if he sticks around and like does good, then I'll be in a situation because then it'll be Badu and Daz and Riley Green, and then what about Daniel Cabrera?
yeah.
And if I had to
But
pick,
Daniel, I think
if
see
I had to
that's
pick,
such
I'm taking Daz. I'm taking Daniel over Daz.
the thing about Daniel is he's older. He's like 23, 24
No,
already.
well, yeah, Daz about that age now. He was young when they traded for him.
That's what no, that's what I'm saying. It's like Daniel's already same age as Daz, and Daniel's in A, and Daz is in the majors.
But Daz was also
Daniel has to
Daz was
make a
also
big
from
jump.
high school. Daniel was also from one of the best baseball schools in the country.
Yeah, that's the thing. Daniel has to make a big jump this year. He has to go. He has to make the jump this year to next year from A to AAA, which isn't impossible
And I've
with
been
him being.
comparing him to Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley didn't come up till he was older, I think. So
So, yeah, but we'll have to see. I think that's all. We went on a little bit longer there on both topics, but
mm-hmm.
on Friday we'll have our wiffle ball preview, and we'll talk about a little bit. I don't think it was intentional shade. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about some posts that were made over this past week that has been fueling the fire of some of our teammates in some practices and group chats. So,
Yeah, I wish they'd bring that out to the field, but
but
we'll see about that
we'll
one.
we'll we'll talk about that Friday. So if you guys could
Mm-hmm.
like and subscribe, that would help us out a lot. And we'll see you guys next time.